Welcome in, everyone, to the second biggest party of the summer, Lumberjill's Marvel Women's Weekend, where I review a brand new Women's Marvel Legends figure every single night this weekend. And Monday, this is all leading up to a top 5 countdown, where I count down my favorite women's wrestling figures and superhero-inspired attire. So look for that very special classic review Monday. Now, I know some of you viewers might be a little confused because this channel is built on women's wrestling figures. I will always review every single women's wrestling figure, and my goal is to raise the respect level and love of women's wrestling figures in the collecting community, because these women's wrestlers are larger-than-life superheroes. But right now, there's just no new women's wrestling figures to cover. I wanted to have a party of my own here in Lumberjillville because Summerslam is this weekend, and that is, as we all know, the biggest party of the summer. So I really wanted to do something different. This is definitely going to be different. If it's something that y'all like, I'll do it maybe yearly, where I review some brand new, awesome Women's Marvel Legends figures, dedicate a weekend to it, and lead it up to a women's wrestling figure video. So yeah, I'm really excited. I went fig hunting, got some really cool Women's Marvel Legends figures that I want to review this weekend. Now, let's just expose the elephant in the room. I'm sure a lot of you watching are wondering, Mayor Aaron, why are you wearing that sick visor? Well, there's a very special reason, and that reason being there was a very tragic, we'll say, accident this past weekend. In all honesty, it gave me some sick superpowers.
Apparently, the accident wasn't tragic enough. You're still here.
Co-Mayor Alexa, that is like really mean.
And what exactly happened to get you your powers? Do you care to explain?
Yep, the planet, MRI machine, but listen, it doesn't matter. All I know is I have this ruby red concussive beam that constantly shoots out of my eyes, and this visor helps me control it.
I'm telling the others, you are going crazy.
Okay, on that note, let's dive into night 1 of our Marvel Legends women's review. Jean Grey, X-Factor from the Uncanny X-Men Marvel Legends line. Jean Grey is a really, really cool Marvel character. She's arguably the most powerful women's Marvel character in the universe. Now, Jean has had a lot of very important and very complex character and story arcs through the years in Marvel Comics. The most notable one being the Dark Phoenix saga, obviously. Now, what's cool about this Jean Grey is this takes place right after that Dark Phoenix saga. This is a reborn Jean Grey, and I absolutely love having it in figure form in front of me. She's a very cool character. At the basis of everything, her personality is very kind, very warm, very compassionate, and I think that's really, really cool. So, taking a look at the packaging here, it is very retro-inspired. Now, retro 90s is what I mean by that, which is kind of crazy that the 90s is considered retro, but hey, it's 2025. Let's get with it, Mayor Aaron. But yeah, this carding is just awesome. It reminds me of the X-Men 97 cartoon. I mean, it reminds me of the figures that came out in the 90s. We have this real big cardboard backing that's actually really thick in quality, very, very durable. We have, as far as design goes, this orange background, the Uncanny X-Men logo in the front, animated Jean Grey there, nice open bubble, we can see everything included. We have Jean Grey, this is the X-Factor version of her. We have a wink and nod to Marvel Comics in the corner there. On the back, we have kind of an action pose of the figure, and then we have a little bio. Let's read that. After her sacrifice to protect the world from Dark Phoenix, a reborn Jean Grey finds her fellow X-Men adrift in an increasingly anti-mutant society, and it's up to her to remind them of their mission. So yeah, this is a very, very cool story arc that we're seeing in figure form here that's just after that Dark Phoenix saga. Now, that being said, let me get some scissors. I think I'm going to need scissors to open this up. It's a very durable packaging. And yeah, the bubble doesn't just peel off easily. All right, so let's unbox this. Now, I don't know an easy way. You know, I'm pretty new to Marvel Legends figures, especially this Uncanny X-Men line. And this is a very durable packaging. I wonder if it peels. Okay, here we go. I might not need scissors, everyone. So on the side, you can just kind of peel it open. No scissors required. Let's pull the bubble out. So there's Jean Grey. Now let me get all the accessories out and let's take a closer look. All right, so my first impressions of this figure, I mean, this is definitely a cool figure. I love the color. You know, when I think of Jean Grey, I think of yellow and green. I honestly do. Now, obviously, her Dark Phoenix story arc, a lot of green and yellow was involved here, but I love this attire. Now, I'll be honest, the head that she comes packaged with, I'm not crazy about. You know, not that it's poorly executed, but I just think the alternate head is absolutely stunning. So we'll get a look at that here in a minute. Now, she comes with 2 hands that are in fist. She also comes with 2 open hands here. And then she comes with, we'll say, a little telekinesis beam, I guess, you know. And the thing is, you really can't display it on her without her hair sculpt over here, which we'll look at next, but it's definitely cool. It'll look good in figure photography there. But yeah, I think this figure looks really, really cool. I really like the design of it. Although it is simple, I think the simpleness of it really makes it beautiful. Now, let's take a closer look at this figure, and let's look at the heads that she comes with, and let's figure out this little telekinesis, telepathic blast. So what's really cool about the Marvel Legends line is there's a lot of creativity and thoughtfulness and just artistic expression included in these figures, especially in the face sculpts and scans and hair. Now, obviously they probably use a lot of the previous comics or even animated series to get a point of reference, but a lot of it is creative and artistic work. Now, there are plenty of Marvel Legends lines that are based off of a live action movie, such as The Invisible Woman I'll be reviewing on Sunday is based on the live-action actress in that Fantastic Four First Steps movie. And there's plenty of lines like that that are kind of modeled or characterized off of the real-life actor. But something like this is not modeled after a live-action movie, and I love that. I love that because they have a little more creative freedom, and yeah, I think this is a cool sculpt that she comes with. She does have this hood or this mask pulled up with her red hair flowing out. I love how it's stylized, how it's kind of in motion. That looks really cool. It'll look really cool for figure photography. And I love the aggression that she has on her face. I think that's really, really cool. Now, it's not my favorite head, so let me switch it out and put this alternate head in, and let's take a closer look. Wow, so this alternate head she comes packaged with is absolutely beautiful. It is a beautiful sculpt. I love that she's smiling, but I think the detail here with the face underneath that mask is also gorgeous. You can see that she has like eyeshadow on there. You can even see part of her eyebrow. She has bright red lipstick. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park with this head. This is definitely how I'm going to display this Jean Grey. Now, my favorite part about this alternate head is the hair. The hair is an absolutely beautiful sculpt. I love that not only is it this red color, but if you look closely, you see a lot of kind of off-color or darker red streaks throughout. It makes it look a lot more realistic. I mean, this looks a lot more realistic than any red-haired character that Mattel and WWE has put out. I've said time and time again, Mattel, with their WWE figures, need to put more effort into the coloration of the hair for the women's figures, whether it be, you know, dark color roots or streaks or highlights, or even just detail like this that makes it look so much more realistic. It absolutely looks beautiful. So yeah, this head is definitely my favorite of the two. I just think the hair really puts it over as an all-time great. I absolutely love this head. Alright, so as far as the body sculpt and attire goes, it's pretty darn simple, pretty simple. A lot of the Marvel Legends women's figures are pretty simple in their attire because that's how they were in the comic books. That's how they were in the cartoon, the animated series. So it's okay, but what's cool is when they have simple colorized attires, I think it allows them to put more effort or detail into the head sculpts. You know, it kind of balances out there. But as you can see, the attire itself, this X-Men attire, is just a green base with a yellow X, yellow gloves, yellow hands, and then the rest of it is green here. But I think it works good. I think the body sculpt is also good. She's got a jacked midsection there, but what really stands out about this body sculpt is the articulation that I'm really interested in. So let's take a closer look at that. All right, so as far as articulation goes of this figure, the head moves, okay, it's on a ball joint, but this hair sculpt kind of limits it. Now the shoulders on a ball joint can move in all different directions, but she also has butterfly joints, which allows some horizontal adduction, and a little bit of abduction, but the butterfly joints and a $24 figure is something we don't see in the Mattel WWE line, so that's definitely cool. We have an upper bicep swivel there. We have double jointed elbows that can really flex. The hands and wrists can rotate around. They can also extend up and flex down really well. We have this upper torso swivel there. We have a ab crunch that allows some flexion there. Very cool. We have the hip on a ball joint, can move in all different directions. It is a little limited by the backside sculpt there, we'll say. We have an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees that can really flex. And then we have a foot that can planar flex down, dorsiflex up, and rock side to side. So yeah, the articulation here is really good, and I'm really curious and interested how I can pose this for the thumbnail. Alright, so I absolutely love this Jean Grey figure. I think it's a beautiful figure. I love how you can pose it, and I think it's a cool addition to Lumberjillville. I'm going to have a superhero-inspired shelf there. Now, the thing with this Jean Grey, at the time of this recording, it is $24.99 at Targets. It is a Target exclusive. However, because there have been so many on the pegs at my Target, I have a feeling that this will go down in price eventually. So if you are looking to pick this figure up, I would maybe wait a little bit, then check your Targets and see if you could get it on discount. But as it stands, this figure is beautiful. I love this depiction, this X Factor depiction of Jean Grey, and I'm really excited to add it to Lumberjillville.